Hi, I'm Kevin,
And I'm Amanda.
and we are serving up
All that jam.
All That Jam, Quick Hit. Getting to know FBR.
Why don't we start with you guys telling us who you are and the origin story of your band?
So we met in Leapers Fork, Tennessee, at an open mic night. What was it, 2014? Yeah. And we met over a Leonard Cohen song. I'd done Hallelujah, and I sang like a lot of his more like obscure verses, and he was like, "You didn't learn that in church, obviously." And so I was like, "No, I love Leonard Cohen," and I jumped in on his band. He had a band at the time called Big South Band, and he was like, "You want to come sing backups?" And we started writing, hanging out, and then we did an acoustic duo project. And almost a decade, here we are later.
Very nice, very nice. And you guys are have something big coming up this week?
We do. Well, it's a couple weeks from now, I guess. It's January 19th. We're releasing our album, Ghost. It's our first debut album as the FBR, and we're very excited about it. It's been a long time in the works.
Very nice, very nice.
I was
Oh,
looking, have you all been releasing some singles ahead of that? I know I saw a few things online. How has that process been for you?
What do you think about it?
It's been a learning experience for us. Yeah, for sure. Going through the process of releasing itself, using different types of companies to upload everything, and then, but it's been fun at the same time. Fans eagerly lapping it up and
Oh
getting
yeah,
excited about it and sharing it.
that's
So
definitely been fun. Is like getting messages from people who have been supporters of the band for years. Just like in anticipation, like they'd come to the live shows. We were playing a lot of these original songs. So to hear their response of like what we went in the studio with the band to do is really cool. And yeah, as far as the process of getting it out, it's definitely a learning curve because everything's always changing, obviously with streaming and. But it's been very fun.
Yeah. I mean, you all have a huge internet presence. I know on Instagram, and I had seen on your website um, a mention of kind of really being able to harness the kind of the collective listening power um, online. Have you all done anything in particular? Just because I find that so fascinating. We're always trying to figure out how to do that too.
We
Like,
did,
how do
yeah.
people?
We did some internet radio promotions for a couple of years. So we actually had released a few singles, like pandemic era. They were still kind of in demo mode. They hadn't been mixed mastered, things like that. And we were finding just following the trends. Like internet is such a beautiful thing, but it can be scary. I think with social media, I'm not one to like want to post every day and stuff. Um, So using those internet radio tools, it'll show you who listened, who clicked it, who said, I want to hear more of this, and reaching out to people and saying, hey, thanks for listening. Here's our Instagram link. Here's our Facebook link. And it's amazing how many people are actually receptive to that.
yeah, she's always talking about working the algorithms. Trying to outsmart them. Hashtags or different types of SEO and I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, that's over my head.
A lot of it goes over my head too. That's been a learning process. Like I've done digital marketing as a job in the past, but in such different industries. Like with music, there's always like the funnel and the things that people talk about. But I think with music, it's very important to just keep pushing things, but it can be the same content because it's like there's U.S. alone 400 million fish in the barrel, so kind of just casting a wide net and seeing, you get the demographics back, who's listening, what age groups, what are they into, and definitely trying to cater to that crowd in regards to like we want the music to be our story, but as far as like how we're pushing it to those people, we just try and pay
Our
attention.
manager's always pushing us all the time. He's giving us a text or a call. Okay, guys, lots of content, lots of
Yeah.
post. Because he said that, and it's evident. I mean, the more we
Yeah.
post, the more quality
I'm
content we
still
put out
I'm
there.
still not where I'm
Yeah,
supposed to be on
yeah.
the as far as the daily
If you're
content.
listening, Phil.
And I was like, you know, but people don't want to see my life. Like I play music and it's fun, but I feel like the rest of my life's kind of boring. And he's like, that's the good stuff. Post the picture of the dog and the cup of coffee. And I'm like, all right.
Well, people, I think, want to connect. Mm-hmm. The digital platform tends to disconnect us some. It also brings us together, but it also disconnects us because we're alone, and especially during the pandemic. Mm-hmm. So they want, people want more and thrive more personal, more human content and touch through posts.
So the singles, what goes into the thought process about what song to release as a single?
So, well, we had all the songs.
Is there a particular process, or is that like?
Well, for this, it was interesting that the theme of the album kind of, we'd have these songs kind of we didn't know what we were going to name the album. We had none of those details figured out once we had all the recordings and we were going into the mixing process. We're like, okay, we need to name this album, and just with the themes throughout it, just being regret and stuff, I felt like Ghost was appropriate. So when it came down to how we were going to release the singles. Of course, some of it was songs that we thought had a more, they were going to be more accessible to larger crowds. So with Before I Drown coming out, we wanted to re-release it. And the idea was, a ghost, Before I Drown, a little bit of dark humor, kind of tongue in cheek there. And then rolling into Empty Room, it was just kind of trying to set the tone. The album is named Ghost because of a line in Empty Room. It says, I'm just a ghost without a voice encased in a cracked and broken tomb. And so I just kind of wanted people to get there's some happier, brighter sounding stuff as far as melodically, but overall this album is supposed to kind of hit hard and hit home. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of roll with that dark theme.
There you go. So let's talk a little bit about the collaborative process that you two have when it comes to writing and composing the songs.
It took years. So we got together on the basis of writing, and I joined the band. We started dating. It's been, it was probably 6 years before we actually, we'd throw each other ideas and stuff, but never actually could write.
She actually moved to Nashville on the pretense of being a songwriter. She hadn't thought about being the front man in a band or a singer. But as she lived here and as she developed her voice and her, stage presence, it quickly grew evident that she's got that voice, she's got that presence.
And it definitely took some kicking and screaming to get there, because I really thought, I was like, I want to be in music somehow. I want to write songs, be behind the scenes. And that open mic we were talking about, one night I got up and sang Janice, and everybody was like, oh my gosh, you need to sing. And so, being in Nashville, it's just kind of known as songwriters, you're going to have to perform your stuff anyway. So that kind of developed.
And we should also tell you really quickly, I know you're asked about the process, but this is a fun story. The first time she ever came out to my house to write, I was worried, because you don't.
He's like, let's meet at Starbucks. Let's meet here to write. And
this day and age, it's like, come on, this is you shouldn't be going to a guy's house that you don't know.
Yeah, in the middle of the woods.
And then
he was reprimanding me, and then
she said, no, let's meet at your house. It's quiet. I know you have a good writing space. Yeah. Blah blah blah. And then I don't know. It was probably months later we were talking.
I had a knife in my boot.
And she brought a knife in her boot, and she felt safe.
Yeah, So I just knew I have a pretty good intuition, a radar. If I don't feel good about a situation, I'm not going to put myself in it. But yeah, I tried some of the sessions already in Nashville. Where we're meeting at coffee shops and stuff, and it's I can't write a song like this.
And honestly, I don't do well like that either. I have never participated in the I guess the manufacturing song process that Nashville is known for, and I'm more of a kind of a inspired / kind of channel the spirits kind of writer.
Oh yeah. We've tried to schedule a time to write and nothing good comes of it. It's just ADHD, and we're like, okay, you want to go get some food? So
I was writing this one song. It's on the album. It's
Set the Anchors
Free. And I was out in my songwriting shed and had written it, but I did not like where the melody was going. It just wasn't hitting for me. So I said, hey, take these words, see what you can do with a good melody and arrangement. Mm-hmm. And I told her last night for the first time that the bridge that's in there too, I just threw those words in there to trick her to see what she'd do with them, and she just knocked it out of the park. Like she even took those words that I kind of put in there as a trick. They were meaningful to the song and intentional, but I didn't know what to do with them. So, but I put them in there, and she just killed it. I mean, just so that kind of became part of our new process that we're doing.
Yeah,
we did Empty Room the same way.
Yeah, I'd asked for the lyrics on that one. I asked him to write a specific song, and he came back, and I just worked on it for a couple of days. And I'm more on the composing side. I think anytime I try and write lyrics, like I've had a couple songs that I write the lyrics for, but it's a lot more of a labor intensive process for me to get those feelings out in words. So, my favorite thing to do is take a poem, like that's how I see it. Like he's handing me a poem and it's like, okay, how would you actually put that emotion behind your voice? How would you say that? How can you sing that and it still sound like how it feels? And it's almost like being an actor and you take a song and do something with it. So he writes most of the lyrics in the band. Like I might throw out an idea now and then. And I know the next album I'll have a couple that I had written, but it's just, we never write in the same room. That's the other thing. Like if he hands me something, he has to go away. That's the rule. So
yeah, my process is usually, I'll get on my guitar and I'll find some kind of chord progression. Then I have, a million harmonicas. I'll throw one in, and that often leads me to the melodies that I create over the chord progressions. And if I'm not happy with that, I'll send it to her, just the words, or I'll keep it because I like it so much. Because very often my guitar and the sound that I create often inspires what the song is going to be about. Lots of times I don't know what the song is going to be about until.
Yeah, he's very, they go on inspiration drives.
And that's why I can't write on Music Row, because it's all about the vibe and what were you saying about?
Yeah, well, it's just a matter of not being able to schedule. Like we don't know when we're going to be inspired. It might be after we take these long inspiration drives, and then sometimes it's it can be something happening in your life, and you just feel this need to get some words out. So it's just a matter of we can go three months without writing a song, and then all of a sudden 4 have been written in 3 days, kind of thing. So we just try not to force the process because we imagine eventually it's going to start flowing, and then it did, and it's been a couple good years of.
And and we're okay. We have over 100 songs in the backlog.
Yeah, he had so many that he had written before, and so he's been kind enough to let me take them and be like, okay, don't tell me the melody. Let me just see what I come up with and let's compare. So it's just we kind of found our, it's hard to kind of get in that vulnerable collaborative process with people. So when you do find someone, it's like, okay, this is great.
If you are enjoying All That Jam, please like and subscribe to our social media channels at All That Jam Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or visit our website, allthatjampod.com. Make sure to sign up for our email list and tune in every week for new episodes.
Also, look for full interviews on our YouTube channel. And remember, stay beautiful, but don't stay underground too long.